Right, on to this lovely church. I've been here today, like I said, I've took the video. And then after I took the video, I stuck my head in the door. And there was a key fit class going on, so, you know, obviously I couldn't take my camera in there. But I got talking to the chap who was in there, and he come outside. Because I wanted to explain about these areas down here. You'll see them on the video. What I call the lower level, the buried level, the hidden windows. And I'll cut quite a long story short. You know, I mean, he was quite receptive to what I was saying. And what he was saying here, this area here, and I think there's also an air vent that he put in around there. There's a big boiler room below there. So there is a room below there, so it does go down another level. And the other thing that he did mention, and it certainly wasn't a very pleasant task, and he was a very busy gentleman, but he has been, it was his misfortune, I think is one of his words were, to actually go into the area below the church, you know, that side of the building. But as I say, he was a busy man who didn't elaborate on that. But if you get to see this video, I'm, you know, really, really grateful for the, you know, the time you spent chatting to me. And if there's any time in the future, maybe I can come back with my camera and have a look around, maybe in the boiler room. Or like I say, I'll come back with my torch and go in underneath there. Or even just have a look in the tower room here. Or upstairs. Just anywhere really, so I can start and document these places. So with that, I'll say thanks for listening, and hope you enjoyed the video. Hello, Dave here. This is Lightfoot Grove Methodist Church, it used to be, just off Yarm Road in Stockton. It's a beautiful church. Pretty unspectacular really, apart from a couple of things which I'll show you. It's almost one of those buildings that, you know, if it wasn't for the fact of the stained glass windows, which I don't think are original anyway, and the spire which we assume to go with churches, it doesn't look a very religious building, put it that way. I'll try and get across the road without getting knocked over, because there's a few things on this side I want to show you. See, all this area has buried levels. I've just had a walk around this area, large houses, other churches, but you only have to look at the end of the road. There's a church. You've got the church I'm stood at here. If you swing round, you have a wonderful mosque there. Now that mosque is actually built on the grounds of an old Methodist church. So you've got three churches here, all within 100 yards of each other. And I would think all built at the same time period, so I ask why. But along the side of this building first, really want to highlight the point of these low windows. If you have a building with a cellar, you do not build a cellar with windows and doors in, because there's nowhere for them to open out onto, because it's a cellar, it's below ground. What they also claim is what they call social layering, that builds up these layers. Now what they're trying to say is over 100 and odd years, people have been so lazy to clear the dust and rubbish and muck away from the outside of the building to such a degree that it actually buries the bottom layer of the building, which is utter nonsense. I'm going along with these names here because Miss Havisham, she's quite good at linking these families, you know, elite families, with the running of the churches. Some people have the skill of reading and looking at the little monitor, but I don't, so you just have to read it yourself. But there's again I'll move over the road a bit. See this little doorway here. Mr. Kipling. That's the one who makes exceedingly good cakes. But I think really the door and that step is just a modern thing. Just move across the road a bit. See if there's out on this side. I don't really think I don't even think it's, you know, used as a church anymore. I think it's more a, you know, a help centre. Well, I may be wrong. The door's open, I'm going to try and get in. I wonder if you'll let me downstairs. Very much doubt it, but you can't but ask. See, buried windows. Little work that's been swiped during the war, so they tell us. And what you have again is your low level windows. Now that is pretty much right away along here. Pretty uneventful, really. There is these telltale air vents. As I say, with these corners here, I don't believe that they're built for support at all. I really don't. And it beats me why they want to put, why these are necessary. You know, why are these columns necessary? Makes no sense to me why you would have them. There's certainly not a support for the wall. I mean, the wall's not big enough, or it's not big enough building to need that type of support. But the tower's lovely. It really is. I have put some stills of this on a video, I think. But even so, and you can't get away from the fact as well, all supposedly built about the same time. Look at that place and its wonderful spire, you know, and the mosque behind me, as I've just shown. You know, that's a modern build, but in its day, the place that was there, you know, it would have been another spectacular place. All these churches have bell towers. Well, why does every church need a bell tower? They're only a couple of 100 yards apart. These things are synonymous with these type of buildings as well. These portholes. The ones higher up in churches, usually they stick a clock in there to give the impression that it's always been there, but it hasn't. Now if I can just try and move around a bit. Morning.
Morning.
I just want to try, I don't want to be standing outside people's windows, especially not in this area. But it's lovely, it's a small building. But I don't, you know, it doesn't give that ring of being a church building. It may sound daft, but I know what I'm talking about. You know, there's another one of these towers. What is the reason? Starts up there, goes all the way down. And what they do try and tell you, but it's, you know, just part of the wall support, which I don't really think it is. What's this one? 1903, there you go. Falls into that wonderful dodgy Victorian timeline. Just have a look around the side here. So sad to see. I've lived around here for a lot of years. All these back alleys that you could wander down. All fenced up now. Some quite interesting stuff you can pick up at the backs of houses. But anyway, this is just another church in Stockton, one of many. Just pointed out this church and two others. Just the other side of that fence down there, you have a massive church called Trinity Church. It's only the ruins because it burnt out a few years ago. But you've got to ask the question, why all these churches? Anyway, bye for now.